viewers, welcome back to my channel and let's learn the halogens in chemistry. So in this one we are going to start the halogen series. So we are going to focus on group 7 only. Uh, in these videos, whatever related to chapter number 7, we are not going to discuss the organic molecules, or you can say the halides one that are related to the hydrocarbons. We are only focusing on the elements of hydrogen, that, or sorry, halogens, that they um, how they physically or chemically exist and how they chemically react. So let's dive into the sea of the halogens, though some of them are really harmful, but still, let's go into the details. So in this video we are going to learn the physical properties, mainly the physical properties of the halogens, mainly their colors and what type of physical state or of these elements possess, the trend in the volatility, that volatility means like how quickly they convert into vapors. The next one is the trend in the bond strength and the halogen molecule, and the last one is the dipole induced dipole force, as these have a special characteristics, which is a characteristic which is known as electronegativity, and how the electronegative behavior induce the dipole in these in the compounds or the molecules that have halogens. So first of all we are going to learn what elements are present in the group number 7 or group number 17 when we collectively count them. In all the elements in group number 7 are non-metal except for astatine, which is radioactive metalloid, and this is present in the form of solid as well. Keeps this thing in mind that astatine, when you move down the group, in this group you start from gaseous state from here and then end on the solid form or solid state. So these elements are called halogens because these are salt formers. The halo is the word that we use for salt, and gen means to make, to form, like the antigens or the different forms are there. So halogens mean the salt formers. So all of the halogens from form actually salt with sodium and other alkali metals, like you have heard of potassium chloride, you might have heard of magnesium chloride, calcium chloride. So they form very stable compounds or halides with the metals. Now let's go into the colors and their state. Let's start with the fluorine. Fluorine is a gas and it is a pale yellow gas, while chlorine is a greenish gas and it is a poisonous gas. So we use chlorine in pools as well as a disinfectant, and we are going to learn that later in the video, that how it is used and why how it act as the disinfectant while we clear out or purify the water. The next one is bromine, which is mainly brown in color and exists in liquid form. The last one is the iodine, that is the gray black solid or purple vapors are formed when they are vaporized. Iodine can sublime easily. So what is the meaning of sublime? Sublime means that a solid can convert directly into gas without converting into a liquid state. This is a like simple definition of sublimation, when a solid directly converts into gaseous form without converting into a liquid state. Otherwise it happens in the solids that first of all they melt and then they get evaporated, but here there is no melting, direct evaporation take place. So this is a peculiar behavior of iodine here. Then astatine is basically the radioactive element that is also black in color, and you might have, if you have given O levels chemistry paper, you might learn this question, that deduce the physical state and the color of the astatine, which is the last element of halogen. Let's talk about the volatility. As we are moving from gas to the solid, so what about volatility? Definitely if we are moving down the group, as the states changes, so we say that melting point and boiling point also increases down the group, because gases have low melting and boiling point, while the solids have more melting and boiling point. So melting and boiling point increases down the group in group number 7. So volatility refers to how easily a substance can evaporate. So we can say that volatility of these halogens, it decreases down the group. We can say that. So the most upper one has the lowest melting and boiling point, the highly volatile one. So a volatile substance will have a low boiling point. Going down the group, boiling point of the element increases, which means the volatility decreases, as we have discussed. So let's look over here. The fluorine has a boiling and melting point below zero, that is around minus 200 degrees Celsius. If we talk about chlorine, chlorine is also a gas, so its boiling and melting point is also below 0 degrees Celsius. And when we talk about iodine, it is around 300 degrees Celsius. So it has the highest melting and boiling point. So fluorine is the highest volatile compound or element in the group number 7. Simple. So what is their bond strength? So volatility also have to do something with bond strength. So when we talk about group number 7, keep in mind the highly electronegative element is present in group number 7, which is fluorine. It has the smallest size and the highest nuclear charge, which makes it more electronegative, and it actually holds the bond more strongly. So when the strong bond is formed between fluorine and the bonded atom, so that is difficult to break. We can say that. So later on, when we move down the group, the bond strength is actually weaker if we consider the electronegative point. So it's basically a diatomic molecule making a covalent bond, meaning electrons are shared in this one. So electronegative means that the shared pair of electrons are more attracted towards that element. So going down the group, the atomic size increases. It means the nucleus is quite far away from the outermost electron, which makes it difficult to get hold of that outermost electron. So the bond strength is not that much when the atomic size is big. The bonding pair of electron get further away from the halogen nucleus and therefore less strongly attracted towards it. Now the bond enthalpy. How do we define enthalpy? We define it as the energy that is needed to break one mole of covalent bond. So as we move down the group, the bond strength decreases. It means that bond enthalpy will also decrease. Simple. The bond enthalpy decreases down the group, and the reason lies in because of bigger size, the electrons are not that much attracted to nucleus as compared to the electrons that are present in a smaller molecule. So the bond enthalpy decreases down the group. So the bond enthalpy of iodine is quite less. Now the dipole forces, as we have discussed that this one is the electronegative group and it has the elements with most electronegativities. So what is the effect on a covalently bonded molecule or the atoms? So going down the group, the van der Waals forces increases due to increased number of electrons in the molecules, which means the volatility decreases. The van der Waals forces are present between different atoms, or sorry, the different molecules. So let's just go into how dipole is actually created. So whenever a certain molecule passes closer to them, there would be a charge of partial negative on one of the end and partial positive on the other end. Why is this so? For example, you must know that electrons are not present in a fixed position. They are always moving. And there comes a point when a certain side has more share of that electron. That's why a partial negative charge appear on that side. Resultantly, a partial positive charge would present on the other side. Simple. So that is induced dipole, that due to the movement of electrons, because they are constantly moving, there comes a point when the electron is present more in the premises of one of the atom than the other, resulting in the formation of dipole. Dipole means there would be some charge on that. So the size of temporary dipole increases. Stronger dipole interaction between molecules means higher melting point. So whenever a more dipole created, the boiling point also increases. So this is all for this video. For the next topics related to halogens, you need to watch the other videos, and do tell me if you want me to explain some point or some topic in detail. So we'll make a separate video on that for you to understand it in detail. So this is all for this video. See you in the next video.